Ah, magandang hapon po. Mega mega love shoutout po sa inyong lahat. Magandang hapon. At siyempre, mega mega love shoutout po kay Mame Mercy Kalunod. Ayan, kay G Chang Wok. Mega mega love shoutout din po kay Audrey Nicole. Ayan. Hindi po magandang ating pakiramdam. Kaya hindi po tayo nakapasok. Kay G Chang Wok. Ayan, mega mega love shoutout kay Audrey Nicole. Kay Kagawad Antonihan. Kay Nani Sanchez Vlog, ayan, mega mega love shoutout po. Kay Ma'am Rosalina, ayan, mega mega love shoutout po sa inyong lahat. Magandang umaga po. Yan. Gusto ko pong isalang sa inyo yung yung mga naging kaganapan kanina sa Senate Impeachment Day 18. Alright?
For the record, before the chair makes its ruling on these matters, the TSN says, Attorney Kapunan, leading, and then she corrected herself, misleading questions are not allowed on cross. Attorney Ferrer, she said they're allowed. Now, the TSN cannot possibly cover the overlapping voices, if at all. So most likely what happened, although we will check the video, would be Attorney Ferrer commenting on the earlier statement that was corrected later on by Attorney Kapunan and changed leading to misleading. Perhaps Attorney Ferrer was referring to leading questions and not misleading questions. But having said that, nevertheless, the court will include that as part of its ruling, with one caveat, Attorney Ligutan. While you do not remove your hat as a teacher wherever you go, the same is true with this representation. I had my fair share of teaching as well. Under the rules of the Senate, unfortunately, you have to unbundle it. You have to decouple it. Under the rules of the Senate, if you are counsel for the parties, you cannot comment on the merits outside of a fair and true report of what happened. In this case, based on the TSN, I am not sure of the accuracy, given that the statements made were pertain to both leading and misleading questions. Number two, it still does not take away, your being a teacher, does not take away your responsibility under the CIPRA to a fellow lawyer who you are jousting with or arguing with or competing against.
Ayan, sinasabi na kasi na may nagmo-monitor, ang titigas ng ulo eh. Oh, hanggang ngayon kasi hindi kasi nila maipalabas-labas na may kaugnayan ito kay BP Inday Sara, yung 125 million na confidential fund. Hanggang ngayon, puro lang papunta kay Colonel La Chica, kung saan siya ang naging officer ng BP SPG, no? At doon sila paikot-ikot lang. Kumbaga, ginagawa lang nilang pinapaamin nila yung mga disbursing officer ng Office of the Vice President, no? Kasi lalong-lalo na ito si itong Bisaya na si Miss sinasabi nila na umami na napunta nga kay Colonel La Chica. Ilang beses niya naman inamin na inutusan siya i-withdraw sa bangko, pagkatapos i-withdraw, ibigay doon kay La Chica. Oh, may inamin ba siya doon na napunta kay Vice President Duterte yung pira? Palagi niyang ini-emphasize na pagkatapos niyang i-withdraw, ibinigay niya kay Colonel La Chica. Ayun, tuloy po natin. Ayan, maraming salamat po. 16 million in the house. Ayan, baka pwede pong makalambing ng like.
This impeachment court. The remarks of the good gentleman, the Attorney Ligutan, the counsel for the panel of prosecutors, is noted and will be entered into records. Thank you, sir. Chair will now make its ruling with the permission of the body from the rostrum because it's difficult to read while sitting down a long ruling. You may sit down, Attorney Chua, for a bit. This will take some time. With the permission of the senator judges. The chair wishes to address certain matters as it is necessary to protect the integrity of this trial. It has come to the chair's attention over time that public statements attributed to persons covered by the rules on impeachment, whether made in interviews or on social media, appear to concern the evidence, the credibility of witnesses, and issues pending before this court, which may fall within the prohibition under Rule 18 of this court. Although the immediate matter arose from statements and conduct involving respective counsel last August 12th, it raises broader concerns affecting the impartiality, decorum, and integrity of the impeachment court. Before imposing or enforcing standards of restraint upon the parties and their own counsel, the court must first look inward and put its own house in order. The chair shall therefore resolve these matters in three parts. First, the duties of impartiality and decorum incumbent upon senator judges. Second, the scope, coverage, and prospective enforcement of Rule 18. Third, the specific guidelines governing compliance with Rule 18. First, senator judges' impartiality, decorum, and the internal remedy. The chair begins where institutional discipline must always begin, with the court itself. The restraint, impartiality, and decorum demanded of the parties and their counsel must first be exemplified by those who sit in judgment. As senator judges, let us keep in mind our oath, quote, to do impartial justice according to the Constitution and the laws of the Philippines, close quotations. And the requirement under Rule 3 of the Rules of Impeachment to observe political neutrality therein defined as, quote, the exercise of a public's official duty without unfair discrimination and regardless of party affiliation or preference. The chair likewise cites the relevant provisions of the 2025 Code of Judicial Conduct and Accountability, or CIPRA, on impartiality and the sub judice rule. Canon 3, Section 10 provides, quote, during the pendency of a case, a judge shall not knowingly make any comment in and out of court that could reasonably be expected or perceived to affect its outcome, impair the fairness of the process, or diminish the public's confidence in the court's impartiality. Canon 4, Section 24 provides, quote, a judge shall not engage or use any form of expression which tends to violate or has the effect of violating the...
Pero kahapon, anong ginawa nung magkapatid na tulpo? Diba, inalipusta nila si Madam Acosta? Kung ano-anong pinagsasabi na estupido. Diba, dapat kahapon pa lang pinagsabihan na yan eh. Pinipilit nila na aminin ni Acosta na napunta kay BP Inday Sara. Pinipilit nila. Ngayon, ito na lang ang huling alas nila. Bakit hindi nila ipatawag si Colonel La Chica? Diba? Alam niyo po ang sagot. Mamaya po basahin natin yung kanilang sagot sa panayam po ng isang mainstream media. Ayan, tuloy po natin.
The sub judice principle, provoke or inflame divisive and contentious issues of public concern or project an image not compatible with the dignity of their position. Taken as a whole, these principles remind us of our duty to preserve the impartiality of this court and the fairness of these proceedings. As the court said in People versus Court of Appeals, GR number 118882, this court has repeatedly and consistently demanded, quote, the cold neutrality of an impartial judge as the indispensable imperative of due process. Judicial proceedings are not orchestrated plays in which the parties are supposed to make motions and reach the denouncement according to a prepared script. There is no writer to foreordain the ending. Close quotation. Also in Berso versus Rabe, AM number RT 21010, a judge must not only be impartial, but must also appear to be impartial, as an added assurance to the parties that his decision will be just. Litigants are entitled to no less than that. For avoidance of doubt, this shall not prevent senator judges from examining the evidence where the examination belongs during the proceedings and on the record. The Supreme Court in People versus Gambor, GR 152183, said, the trial judge is accorded a reasonable leeway in putting such questions to witnesses as may be essential to elicit relevant facts, to make the record speak the truth. A judge may examine or cross-examine a witness.
Ang problema, parang hindi naman nagsasabi ng totoo yung ating mga, kasi makikita mo yung kanilang mga reaksyon doon sa witness ng defense. Kita nyo yung kanilang mga style, halatang halata mong impartial diba? Kaya nakakalungkot na may mga senador tayong ganito, mapanglait ng kapwa, diba? Tapos anuhin niya pa na pwedeng makulong. Ay talagang ganun ang buhay kung napatunayan niya nagkamali siya diba? Kasi nga ang gusto nila bumaliktad at umamin. Kasi hanggang ngayon ay wala pa silang makitang matibay na ebidensya. No? Tuloy po natin.
He may propound questions to test the credibility of the witness and to extract the truth. He may seek to draw out relevant and material testimony, though that testimony may tend to support or rebut the position taken by one or the other party. It cannot be taken against him if the clarificatory questions he propounds happen to reveal certain truths which tend to destroy the theory of one party. Taken together, Rule 17 and the Gambor case confirm that the searching question is not partial merely because the answer may aid one side or weaken the other. The prosecution and the respondent's counsel must be prepared to answer such questions. The inquiry must remain relevant, material, fair, and directed toward clarification of truth. It must not devolve into a speech, harassment, partisan advocacy, or an announcement of a conclusion already reached. The line is clear. Senator judges may test the evidence here under oath and on the record, exercising the cold neutrality of an impartial judge. When constituted as an impeachment court, the Senate does not cast aside the discipline of parliamentary practice, except where the specific rules on impeachment or the adjudicative nature of these proceedings require otherwise. The rules of the Senate establish parliamentary precedents and courtesies of the chamber continue to bind every member sitting as senator judge under Rule 34, Sections 93 and 94 of the Rules of the Senate. Deem acts or language that offend a senator or any public institution or third party to be unparliamentary and prohibit the use of offensive and improper language against another senator or public institution or third party. Henceforth, I hope senator judges shall refrain from unparliamentary remarks, personal attacks, imputations of improper motive, and other language incompatible with the dignity of these proceedings and of parliamentary courtesy to other people. The chair will at all times extend to his fellow senator judges the courtesy befitting equals and reasonable latitude that serious deliberation requires. Differences in judgments and vigor in debate are to be expected and shall, as far as practicable, be met with patience, flexibility, and respect.
Ayan, thank you
Should
po sa
circumstance
palay.
so require, however, the chair will not hesitate to enforce the rules of this impeachment court, the rules of the Senate, particularly sections 95 and 96. In this chamber, firmness need not be unkind, nor courtesy come at the expense of duty. Both serve the same end, the fair and honorable administration of justice. Further, where a senator judge is alleged to have violated the impeachment oath, Rule 3,
Marami ng bisis ginawa. Dapat nun, ngayon palang inano yan. Marami ng bisis ginawa nung magkapatid na yon. Lalong-lalo na si Pangilinan. Si Soto. O tingnan niyo yung two-third. Gusto nilang baguhin kasi debatable pa daw. Ayun.
18 or any other applicable rule of the Senate. An available institutional remedy within the Senate is the filing or referral of an ethics complaint to the Senate Committee on Ethics and Privileges in accordance with the internal rules of the Senate. Under Rule 10, Section 1316 of the Rules of the Senate, the Committee on Ethics has jurisdiction over all matters relating to the conduct, rights, privileges, safety, dignity, integrity, and reputation of the Senate and its members. Any disciplinary action remains for the Senate to determine under Article 6, Section 16.3 of the Constitution and applicable rules. This shall not be a proper subject matter to be taken up within this impeachment court so as not to divert the attention from the impeachment trial against the respondent in this case. Accordingly, the chair reminds all senator judges, first, to observe the impartiality and political neutrality required by their oath and the rules. Second, to observe the parliamentary rules, precedents, and courtesies of the Senate and refrain from unparliamentary, offensive, or improper remarks. Third, to exercise their authority under Rule 17 to question witnesses, prosecutors, and counsels for the respondent and the prosecutor during the proceedings on the record instead of through commentaries in social media. Second ruling. Rule 18, Scope, Coverage, and Prospective Enforcement. Note on the statement, prospective enforcement. Having addressed the conduct expected of senator judges, the chair now turns to Rule 18 and the persons expressly covered by it. The chair makes this ruling not only in response to the manifestation and motion made by counsel for the respondent, Attorney Sheila Season, on August 12, and after due consideration of Attorney Ligutan's explanation, but also on the basis of the chair's independent findings of seeming violations of Rule 18. These incidents come after the chair's earlier advice to both panels to designate the respective spokespersons so that the necessary and appropriate communications may be made within the limits prescribed by the rules. Since that advice has not been fully observed, the chair now finds it necessary to restate and strictly enforce those restrictions. Article 18 of the Rules on Impeachment provides, the presiding officer, the members of the Senate, shall refrain from making any comments and disclosures in public pertaining to the merits of a pending impeachment trial. The same shall likewise apply to the prosecutors, the person impeached, and their respective counsel and witnesses. This rule exists to balance the public's right to information on matters of public concern with the need to protect the integrity of the proceedings from public prejudgment. The rules of court apply only suppletorily to these proceedings. When the rules on impeachment expressly and specifically govern a matter, they control. Since Rule 18 directly governs public comments and disclosures pertaining to the merits of the pending impeachment trial, it is for this court, in the exercise of its authority and sound discretion, to determine whether a particular statement violates that rule. Henceforth, with respect to prior statements or conduct covered by Rule 18, the court shall extend grace, exercise liberality, and wipe the slate clean, tabula rasa, so to speak. From this point forward, however, Rule 18 shall be strictly enforced and be given full force and effect. Accordingly, the chair hereby strictly enjoins all persons covered by Rule 18. You know who you are, and based on the records, we know who you are. From making public statements or otherwise discussing, sharing, or endorsing comments pertaining to the merits of this pending impeachment trial, and from engaging in trial by publicity, as they directly threaten the independence of the court, degrade the dignity of the tribunal, and risk turning it into a circus, and weaponize the media to substitute public outrage or actual evidence. We are in receipt of the appearances of the parties. So, ang covered po ng Rule 18 would be all those who appeared, both from the panel of prosecutors and the counsel for the panel of prosecutors. Chair earlier reminded the parties designate a specific spokesperson. Wala pong problema kung hindi naman siya kasama sa panel. Walang problema kung hindi siya kasama sa council for the panel of prosecutors. The spokespersons are free to say whatever they want to say, but not, and there are limitations insofar as the panel of prosecutors and the council for the panel of prosecutors is concerned.
Ang problema, yung mga prosecutor mismo, katulad ng mga congressman. Katulad ng mga congressman na talagang napakalakas daw ng kanilang ebidensya. Oh. Okay lang kung yung tagapagsalita. Kaso lang, magpapatawag talaga sila ng presscon. Ilang beses inulit yan. Tapos anong kinalabasan? Sorry lang. Di ba? Kaya nakakalungkot na may mga ganito tayong mga politiko.
Clearly, up to today, the spokesperson of both parties are still part of the council for the parties. Some with more violations than others. So without enumerating the councils where this rule applies, I think you know who you are, given the entries of appearance you've already made. These restrictions apply with particular force not only to counsel for the parties but also to us, senator judges, and all other persons whose public statements are governed by Rule 18. Rule 18 makes specific mention of the respondent. It does not make mention of the complainants in this case, given the public nature of this case. So outside of the senator judges, outside of the counsels for the parties, particularly mentioned would be the respondent herself, as well as the witnesses called. Third ruling, guidelines for compliance with Rule 18. To ensure a common standard, the chair now states the guidelines governing compliance with Rule 18. That line is crossed when a public comment by any person covered by Rule 18 falls within the phrase, quote, pertaining to the merits. In this regard, jurisprudence has consistently distinguished matters going into the merits of a case from those which are merely procedural, incidental, or collateral. In De Leon versus Deliana, GR 21-2277, as a technical legal term, merits has been defined in law dictionaries as a matter of substance in law as distinguished from matter of form, and thus the real or substantial grounds of action or defense, in contradistinction to some technical or collateral matter raised in the course of a suit. In Badoy versus Magdoza Malagar, AM number 220916 SC, comments on the merits of the case may refer to the credibility of witnesses, the character of the accused, the soundness of alibis offered, the relevance of the evidence presented, and generally any other comment bearing on the guilt or innocence of the accused. Pursuant to the en banc case of INRE published threats hurled by Attorney De Vera, AM number 011203 SC, number 1, no party shall make public comments, statement.
Si De Vera po ay attorney ng prosecution ng House panel. Ayun, siya ang pinakahuling nagsuri na naman. Di ba kung matatandaan nyo, si Ligutan nagsuri, si Kapunan nagsuri. Ngayon, si ano na naman? Si De Vera. Di ba parang sinasadya nga nila eh. Kasi wala silang ibang purpose kung hindi masira talagang isang vice president. Di ba? Kaya nga mas maganda naman na ganitong nangyari. Binuksan na. Pero sa susunod dapat anuhan niya na. Kita nyo kung paano inalipusta ni Tolpo yung isang witness kahapon. Witness yun ha. Pero wala siyang respeto. Estupido daw. No? Isang estupido daw. Oh. Pero pagpabor sa kanila tuwan-tuwa, abot langit ang ngiti. Pero dahil hindi nila makorner, isang estupido daw ito si ano. Ay, pag mga ganitong klaseng senador, aywan ko, naghahangad pang presidente.
Insinuations or rhetorical questions that, number 1, prejudge the issue to predict the outcome of the trial. Number 2, question pending rulings. Number 3, substitute media pressure for evidence. Number 4, promote distrust and undermine public confidence in the court by creating the impression that the court cannot be trusted to resolve the case impartially and violate the right of the parties to have their case tried fairly by an independent tribunal uninfluenced by public clamor and other extraneous influences. For purposes of this trial, a statement pertains to the merits when viewed in the full context. It evaluates in its full context. It evaluates a disputed fact, the credibility of a witness, the relevance or probative value, weight or sufficiency of a particular evidence, assessment as to the legal viability of an article of impeachment, or a substantive defense advocates a particular disposition of the charges or announces or forecasts the ultimate vote. Conversely, this court recognizes the qualified privilege of a fair and true report regarding these proceedings as affirmed in the Supreme Court in ABS-CBN versus Ampatuan GR number 227004. Based on the jurisprudential standard derived from Article 35 of the Revised Penal Code, a fair and true report means a neutral, objective, and accurate recounting of the proceedings made in good faith without any comments or remarks. For the guidance of all the parties concerned, the Chair now issues the procedural guidelines for violations of Rule 18. The Impeachment Court will exercise its powers summarily under Rule 5, adhering strictly to the due process parameters set by the Supreme Court. First, a 24-hour show cause order. No oral accusation or press pronouncement shall precede the formal charge. Any party cited for a particular violation will be issued a written show cause order, either motu proprio or upon motion by either party, and will be given exactly 24 hours to submit a verified written answer. Pursuant to the Supreme Court's en banc doctrine in Zaldivar versus Sandigan Bayan, GR number 79690-707, due process in disciplinary proceedings against lawyers and parties does not require a trial-type formal hearing. The presiding officer will rule summarily based solely on the submitted pleadings upon the lapse of the 24-hour period, subject to appeal or reconsideration by any member of the court. Now, the burden of proof. Pursuant to Stratcom Corp. versus Etong, GR number 190980, and Webb versus Gatula, GR number 194469, any punitive sanction requires this court to find that, quote, a person's act must be done willfully or for an illegitimate or improper purpose. Thus, the good faith or lack thereof of the person being cited in contempt should be considered. Hence, the contemnor is presumably...
Dapat kahapon pa itong magkapatid. Alam mo naman pala. Di ba? Diba? Oh. Alam nyo kung gaano nilait yung isang individual? Di ba? Empleyado lang naman siya eh. Oh. Sabagay, strategy ng prosecution na talagang sirain nila yung Kasi hanggang ngayon nga ay wala pa talagang solid. Kasi hanggang kay pa lang, La Chica eh. Wala pa silang makitang butas na ibinalik kay Vice President Sara Duterte. Kaya yun ang inaabot nila. Oh. Pinipiko nila yung Vice President. Samantalang hindi naman nagpapa-apekto yung Vice President, gawa ng sige lang ang trabaho. Di ba? Kung saan sinabi nga nito ni Abante na bakit hindi humaharap sa impeachment. Di ba? May legal na basehan ba siya? O, nasa Vice Presidente na yan kung gusto niyang humarap. Dahil may mga abogado naman siya eh. O, yun lang ang gusto nilang Pero yung pala, puro kabulastugan din yung pinagagawa niya dyan sa district niya. 2 billion din pala ang kanyang nakuhang project, kaya ganun-ganun na lang kung magsalita. Natatakot din siya na lumabas lahat yan. Kasi tingnan mo hanggang ngayon, wala kayong makitang maayos na flood control dyan sa District 6. Makita nyo ang kalsada, mataas pa sa mataas pa sa sapa. Mataas pa yung sapa. Hindi maayos ang mga tulay. O kaya kunting ulan lang, lubog. Ang problema, hindi na nga nanalo, siya pa ang nakaupo. Kaya atat na atat talaga siya na makonvict itong si Vice President Sara Duterte kasi natatakot siya na wala siyang lugar pag umupo ang isang Vice President Sara Duterte. Ayun, tuloy po natin.
Innocent is presumed innocent rather, and the burden of proving that the contemnor is guilty of contempt lies with the movant.
Ayun, ano bang ginawa kahapon ni Tulfo? Parang inano niyang guilty na yung yung guilty na yung tao, yung testigo. Biruin mo, estupido sa mga estupido. Ay, napakayabang talaga eh. Kaya kayo na bahala pagdating ng 2028 kung pagkakatiwalaan nyo ba yan. No? Ang kaya niya lang kasi prasuhin yung mga nag-aaway na mga kabit. Kasi doon viral siya, kumikita siya ng milyon doon. Yun ang kaya niya. Doon siya magaling. Diba? Doon siya pag alam niyang viral. Pag alam niyang magbabiral, kukunin niya yan. Wala siyang pakialam sa napakaraming pila dyan. Totoo, napakaraming pila dyan. Pero pag alam niyang hindi magbabiral, bibigyan ka lang niya ng bibigyan ka lang niya ng recommendation. Bahala ka na sa buhay mo. Ganon siya ka pagdating sa pagtulong na sinasabi niya, hindi siya pantay-pantay. Doon lang siya pag alam niyang magbabiral, yung kukunin niya yun. I-rin niya kaagad yun kahit may mga naka-assign pa. Kukunin niya kaagad yun, i-rin na yun. Lalong-lalo na yung pinakita yung mga video na nagkukuskusan. Iyon ang gustong-gusto niya kasi gustong-gusto niya makapanood ng porn eh.
For violations of Rule 18, the court shall follow a two-strike rule. Violations will be met with a strict graduated penalty system. First offense, public reprimand and admonition. The penalty is a severe reprimand and stern admonition in open court, placed permanently on the record as a final warning. Second offense, a monetary fine. The penalty, pursuant to the prescribed ceiling under Rule 71, Section 7 of the Code.
Ayan, dapat ipunin niya ng prosecution, ng defense. Diba? Dapat ipunin yan yung mga pinaggagawa ng mga yan. Lalong-lalo na yung matandang kapunan. Dapat nga kapunan sila lahat.
The court will impose a maximum statutory fine of 30,000 per violation. Pesos, that is. Furthermore, exercising the court's inherent case management powers under Rule 4, 5, 6, and 8 to preserve the orderly proceedings, the offending lawyer or party may also be subjected to a defined prospective restriction on speaking, objecting, or examining witnesses on the floor. Each subsequent violation of Rule 18 shall be punished the same way as a second offense, third, fourth, so on, with a fine of 30,000 pesos. In all cases wherein a member of the bar is concerned, independently, pursuant to the case of Inre Almacen, the certified incident record will be transmitted and formal referral will be made to the Office of the Bar Confidant, the Integrated Bar of the Philippines, and or the Supreme Court for possible disciplinary sanction regarding the person's license to practice. The court also reminds respective counsels of the parties that CIPRA Canon 2, Section 19 prohibits lawyers to comment or publicize opinion pertaining to a pending proceeding in a manner that may cause prejudgment, sway public perception, influence the tribunal, or create a widespread perception of guilt or innocence. CIPRA likewise requires professional responsibility on the use of social media and prohibits the dissemination of false or unverified claims or disinformation. Rule 18 does not, by its terms, cover outside observers or spokespersons who are not counsels of record. Such
I-forward po
persons,
natin,
however, remain subject subject matter for redirect, if ever, when your time comes. Witness may answer. Yes, Mr. Antonio, you may respond to the question.
Thank you, Your Honor. The way I understand the question is that the confidential funds was not used for any of the regular programs of the OVP under the socio-economic delivery programs for the 2023. So with that, sir, I can say yes, the confidential funds were not used for the purpose of the implementation of the socio-economic programs of the OVP in itself.
And you know that information by virtue of your position, not only as the Assistant Chief of Staff, but also as the Administrative but also as the Supervising Officer of the Administrative and Financial Management Office of the OVP.
Yes, ma'am. That's correct, ma'am.
Thank you.
I-forward po natin para
Sir, Mr. Antonio, yes, Attorney Christine?
Witness is incompetent to read the state of mind of the Vice President.
That's precisely the point, Your Honor. That's precisely what I'm asking the witness to confirm, that he cannot say with certainty the frame of mind of the Vice President if she was also thinking that the PFP is not required for the request.
Applying the rules equally, if he knows, witness may answer.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Again, ma'am, for the question ulit, ma'am.
So hindi mo rin masasabi, you cannot say with certainty na ganyan din ang interpretasyon ng Vice Presidente dun sa provision na binasa mo nang ipinadala ang sulat to the DBM dated August 22, 2022. Tama ba?
I cannot, ma'am.
But you are sure, you can confirm that the Vice
siyempre, alam nga naman sagutin niya yung desisyon ng Vice President. Ipipilit niyo. Pagdidesisyonan niyo sa desisyon ni Vice President, talaga naman, oh.
Vice President is a lawyer. Tama ba?
Yes, ma'am. She is a lawyer.
Sinabi mo rin kanina na yung confidential funds, to your knowledge, hindi lang to ginastos sa regular programs ng good governance. Tama ba?
Ma'am, what I meant, ma'am, is that
Sorry, Mr. Tony, let me just clarify. Sinabi mo kanina na to your knowledge, yung confidential funds were not spent on the regular programs under the good governance program. Tama ba?
that's correct, ma'am.
Yan din yung sinabi mo para sa socio-economic delivery programs. Ang sabi mo, yung confidential funds hindi ginamit sa regular programs ng socio-economic delivery programs ng OVP. Tama ba?
That's correct, ma'am.
Pero you will confirm na yung sa PFP, hindi naka-indicate na the confidential funds will be used not for the regular programs of the good governance program of the OVP. Tama ba? Walang qualification dun sa PFP. Tama ba? Ang nakalagay lang doon, good governance program.
Yes, ma'am. Based on the document that I saw, ma'am, it only indicated the program titles.
Okay. Tama. So, hindi naka-indicate doon na gagamitin ang confidential funds para sa programa other than the regular programs under the good governance program. Tama ba?
Yes, ma'am.
The same is true for the 2023 PFP. Ang nakalagay lamang doon, socio-economic delivery. Walang qualification. Tama ba?
Based on the document that was
Yes.
presented, ma'am.
Hindi rin sinabi na the confidential funds for 2023 ay gagamitin for programs other than the regular programs of the socio-economic delivery programs of the OVP. Tama ba?
Sorry, ma'am. Can you repeat the question, ma'am?
Hindi rin sinabi sa PFP for 2023 the confidential funds of the OVP will be used for programs other than the regular programs under the socio-economic delivery program of the OVP.
Based on the
Yes.
document, ma'am, it does not specifically indicate.
Okay. And you would confirm that the seeming confusion would have been avoided had the Office of the Vice President only indicated the specific programs under both the good governance programs and the socio-economic delivery programs in the PFP. Tama ba?
Objection. Objection.
What is the ground?
Speculative, Your Honor.
Your Honor, again, a question does not
The witness is smart enough. Mr. Antonio, you may answer if you know.
Can you repeat the question, ma'am?
the confusion would have been avoided or would have been averted. Maiiwasan sana ito kung yung OVP nilagay doon sa dalawang PFP for 2022 and 2023 yung specific each and every program that will be funded by the confidential funds for both
Objection.
years. Tama ba?
Objection, Your Honor.
What's the objection, Attorney Christine?
The witness did not say there was a confusion, Your Honor. That was misleading.
I didn't say, Your Honor, that this witness mentioned
But her question says, so the confusion should have been avoided, Your Honor. The question is misleading.
because, Your Honor, there was an inconsistency, Your Honor. Earlier,
She's interpreting and making conclusions out of the answer of the witness, Your Honor.
Attorney May, kindly reform. Yes, the witness did not say that he was confused.
okay.
Reform, you can get to the same point. Throw another way.
Okay. So, Mr.
Barado.
Ortonio, kung nilagay yung each and every program that will be funded, stinate doon sa dalawang PFP, yung particular programs na paggagamitan ng confidential funds, wala sanang question kung saan ito ginamit. Tama ba?
Objection, Your Honor. Same objection, Your Honor. Actually misleading kasi wala sanang questions. He did not say that there were questions. on
Then
the
I
confidential.
will drop the sana, Your Honor.
Mr. Ortonio, if I may, counsels. Mr. Ortonio, bakit hindi nilagay doon sa PAP yung particular ng good governance
Ayun dapat ang mga
socioeconomic
tanong,
program na
hindi yung
dito ba
confused.
sa original o regular na budget ng OVP? Sa
Sir,
pagkakaalam mo.
thank you, Your Honor. On the question, sir, on kung bakit hindi nilagay, sir, I would have no personal knowledge, sir, on why, since the document was prepared by our special disbursing officer.
Sa paggawa ng sagot sa OEM, sa palagay mo ba kung nilagay niya yon, hindi na masasama sa OEM, sa AOM yon?
Based on my understanding, sir, it could have helped, sir, to clarify.
Okay. Your witness, counsel?
Okay. Mr. Ortonio, yesterday and today, paulit-ulit mong sinasabi na wala kang participation sa disbursement and implementation of the confidential funds. Tama ba?
Yes, ma'am.
So hindi mo rin alam kung talagang saan ginamit yung confidential funds, kung anong programa dinisburse ito. Tama ba?
Objection. Objection, Your Honor.
What is the ground?
Not
that
covered
we're
by the cross.
Let's give her sufficient leeway, counsel. This is one of the questions in the minds of the center judge.
Siyempre, hindi niya nga alam eh. Basta ang hawak niya yung mga papilis. Hindi, wala naman siya doon sa field. Talaga na.
Just to clarify, you may answer, Mr. Antonio.
No, I would not have any personal knowledge.
So hindi mo rin alam, based on your personal knowledge, na yung confidential funds ay hindi ginastos sa regular programs under the Good Governance Program. Tama ba? Kasi wala kang sabi mo, wala kang participation, wala kang personal knowledge kung saan dinisburse yung confidential funds. Tama ba?
Based on my understanding, ma'am.
Wala ka ring personal knowledge kung paano in-implement ang confidential funds. Tama ba?
Yes, ma'am.
So hindi mo rin masasabi based on your personal knowledge na yung confidential funds ay ginastos sa mga programa other than the so-called regular
Pinagko-conclude na siya.
programs of the Good Governance Program.
Objection, Your Honor.
What is the ground, Christine?
Misleading, Your Honor. The witness did not say that the confidential funds were spent on the good governance programs of the OVP.
That was not the point, Attorney Christine. Witness may answer. If the presiding officer may, Mr. Antonio, kung wala kang personal na kaalaman kung paano ginastos yung confidential fund, edi wala ka ring personal na kaalaman kung ginastos sa regular na programa ng OVP yung confidential fund.
I do not have any personal knowledge, sir, on how the confidential funds was
At
implemented,
all.
sir.
Kung saan napunta yon, wala kang alam.
No, sir.
Kung napunta man sa tama o mali, madumi o malinis, wala kang alam.
I would have no personal knowledge, sir.
Okay. Your
Earlier,
witness, counsel.
tinanong ka din, bakit nag-change yung program, the PPAs, for the 2023 PFP? When I say PPAs, I'm referring to the projects, plans, and activities. Tinanong ka kanina kung bakit yung programs, plans, and activities under the 2023 PPA naging socio-economic delivery program na dati under the 2022 PFP, ito ay good governance program. Tama ba?
Yes, ma'am. The
Yes.
way I understand the
Wait.
question, ma'am.
Wait lang. Ito yung tanong, Mr. Ortonio. Ang sabi mo kanina, nag-change ng PPA sa 2023 PFP para ma-cover ang mas marami pang programa. Tama ba?
Ma'am, I'll clarify, ma'am.
Wait,
I,
Mr. Ortonio, please just answer my question with a yes or no.
I answered, ma'am.
Your Honor,
Let the witness answer, Attorney May.
thank you.
I answered the question earlier, ma'am, in the context of why there was a change from good governance to socio-economic delivery in the context of what is reflected in the GAA. So that's how I answered it, ma'am.
Okay.
Hmm. Chichi Anan. Yeah, shout out.
Pero you will confirm na wala ka ring participation dun sa pag-identify, sa pag-prepare ng PFP. Meron ka bang participation?
For the PFP, ma'am, no.
Wala nga ni. Kasi ang hawak niya lang is mga papel. Kung ano man ang kaganapan doon sa loob, yung mga nangyayari doon sa loob, hindi niya yun hawak, gawa ng wala siyang alam doon. Nasa opisina siya, hindi man siya nasa field. Oh, kaya kung anong dumarating doon sa opisina, yun ang pagbabasihan niya. Itatali niya yung mga papilis niya. Pag nagtali, di goods. Di ba? Yun ang naging problema. Pilit yung pinapaamin. Bakit ayaw niyong tawagin yung pinaka-principal mismo kung saan si Daniela Chica ang involved doon? Oh, kasi nga natatakot kayo. Oh, natatakot kayo na ilabas lahat ang katotohanan. Oh. Ngayon, para naman may ano tayo na talagang hindi nila mapatawag si Daniela Chica. Ayan, ipakita ko po sa inyo para naman na maano nyo, no? Saglit lang po dahil napaka sama ng aking pakiramdam, no? Ayon po dito sa interview ayon po dito sa interview ni DJ Chacha ay sabi niya dito excuse me po, prosecution sa pagharap kay La Chica mapanganib, yan, kailangan maging maingat. Di ba? Ibig sabihin takot sila. Takot sila na iharap itong si La Chica. Pinag-iisipan pa ng mabuti ng House Prosecution Panel kung ihaharap nila bilang witness si Colonel Raymond Dante La Chica. No? Kaya nga, para matapos na lahat yung kanilang mga konklusyon, dapat pinapatawag na yan noon pa. Bakit kailangan nilang paaminin yung mga gumagawa ng papel? Anong alam noon doon sa field? Natatakot sila. Alam niyo kung bakit? Baka isiwalat lahat ni Colonel La Chica at magwala yung kanyang mga kasamahan. Kaya natatakot sila. Pinag-iisipan nilang maigi. Di ba? Presidential Security and Protection Group Diba? Yung palang kinu-questionan nila. Bakit daw ganun karami ang security ni BP Sara Duterte? Hello? Hindi po yun kasama lahat. Ibig sabihin, nung nabuo po yung BSPG, BPSPG, yun po yung kabuuan. Ibig sabihin, palit-palit po yan, pang-araw, pang-gabi, yung mga advance party kung saan siya pupunta. Yun po yung kanilang mga trabaho, hindi yun kasama araw-araw. No? Sa panayam ng aming programa kay Attorney Benjamin Tolosa Jr., legal spokesperson ng House Prosecution Panel, sinabi niyang hindi simpleng desisyon ang pagpapaupo kay La Chica sa witness stand, lalo't maaari itong ituring na hostile witness at hindi ito nasa panig ng prosecution. Natatakot lang kayo na mabuking talaga mabuking kayo lahat na talagang ang ano nyo, sirain lang ang kalaban nyo sa politika. Diba? Mapanganib yan. For example, pwede niyang magsinungaling. Hindi ko sinasabing magsisinungaling siya. Nag-conclude na siya, pero hindi niya sinasabi na pwede siyang magsinungaling. Talaga naman, oh. Posible ito yung motivation to lie. Nandyan, we're not seeing is gonna lie. We have to minimize this risk. Paliwanag ni Tolosa. Ayon kay Tolosa, iba ang sitwasyon ni dating OBP Special Dispatching Officer Gina Acosta na idinileklarang hostile witness dahil mayroon na itong naunang statement under oath. Di ba? Nakakatuwa yung mga ganitong mga no? Si Acosta hostile witness din siya, pero may statement na siya under oath. May pag-amin na siya ay inutusan ni BP BP ang pera na ibigay kay La Chica. Okay, saan ang ano doon, hostile witness? Wala naman tinanggap si BP Sara. Di pa nga nila napatunayan na hindi ginasto ni La Chica yung pera. Di pa nga nila mapatunayan hanggang ngayon. No? Hindi mo uupuin ang ganyang klaseng testigo. Natatakot nga sila. Natatakot sila na humarap talaga ito si La Chica kasi magkabukingan talaga. May absolute necessity, hindi siya ganoon kadaling desisyon. Kailangan maging maingat kami. Dagdag pa niya. Maging maingat kasi nga natatakot kayo. Di ba? Paulit-ulit na lumutang ang pangalan ni La Chica sa mga nakaraang testimonya kaugnay ng confidential funds ng OBP. Nauna nang sinabi ni Acosta na ibinigay niya kay La Chica ang confidential funds dahil ito umano ang itinalagang magpapatupad ng confidential funds. May utos nga eh. Kaya nga napunta doon. Hanggang ngayon, tanga ka pa rin. Sino kaya ang tanga? Ikaw ang tanga hanggang ngayon, tanga ka pa. Sa testimonya naman ni OBP Assistant Chief of Staff Lemuel Ortuño, sinabi niyang naglabas siya ng 150 mula sa sarili niyang pera matapos iparating sa kanya ni Acosta yung isang urgent request umano mula kay La Chica. Hanggang ngayon ay ayon kay Ortuño, hindi pa siya nare-reimburse. Di ba? Kaya dami talagang tanga. Lalong-lalo na ito si Marvin. Oy, sorry Marvin. Pag marami talagang tanga. Prosecution nga ito, interview nga ito ng prosecution eh. Bakit natatakot silang iharap? Natatakot silang isumpina. Oh. Dahil nga, natatakot silang mabuking sila lahat. Na puro drama lang ang kanilang pinaggagawa. Oh. Di ba? Ganun lang kasimple yan. Kaya natatakot sila. Ang kukunin lang nila, yung mga galamay, ipapaamin nila doon. Oh. Sila chika, natatakot silang kunin. Alam niyo kung bakit? Pag nilatag lahat yan nila chika, tapos. Oh. Yung security ng Pilipinas, pupwedeng maapektuhan. Oh, 'yan ang dapat nyong tandaan. Kaya ganun sila katakot. Naiharap sila chika. Ang tanging objective nila ay siraan lang ang Vice President. Hindi nila makunik-kunik. Kasi papunta lang kay la chika. Di ba? Oh, Marvin. Ano mo diyan? Anong masasabi mo? Nakikimarites ka lang? Sa bagay, hindi naman tayo pwedeng makipagtalo sa mga tanga. Alright? Maraming salamat po at sinamahan niyo na naman ako hanggang dulo. Ayan, Marvin, comment ka dyan. Maraming salamat po at hanggang dito na lang po. Mami Mercy Kalunod, mega love shoutout po.